Hi guys, welcome to the workshop. Today we're going to be making a hand sanitizer pouch. This is for, I kind of slurred that, didn't I? A hand sanitizer pouch. This is for the 2-ounce bottles of hand sanitizer. It's going to have a clasp on the end so that you can attach it to your pocketbook, or you can put a key ring in here and attach your keys to it. This way you'll always have your hand sanitizer handy with you whenever you go out. The pattern that I got for this, I got from Jewel Design Studios on Etsy. It was $3.99. Very reasonable price for the pattern, and I'll link that down below so that you'll be able to hop on Etsy and get that pattern. This is going to be a step-by-step tutorial, so if you have the pattern and you want to make one along with me, what you'll do is watch a step that I'm doing, then pause the video, and you can go and do the step and then come back and we'll do the next step together. And hopefully at the end of just a short time, we'll all have a hand sanitizer pouch made that we can hook on our pocketbooks or belt loops or whatever we want to always have our hand sanitizer. I don't know why that's giving me such a hard time. Our hand sanitizer with us. Now, let's talk about the supply list that we need to do this project. You're going to need the pattern, obviously. You're going to need some type of faux leather or heavier duty like marine type vinyl. Any type of fabric or material that's not going to fray. This I got from Hobby Lobby. It is, I can't see without my glasses. It's from the Ribbon Boutique. If you've shopped at Hobby Lobby in their fabric department, I'm sure you've seen this. It's over in their ribbon section. It comes in 24 by 7.5 inch rolls. $4.99 per roll. Of course, every other week it's on sale, so you can actually get 2 rolls for $4.99. You're going to need your embroidery thread, obviously. Rotary cutter. Rotary cutter just makes it a whole lot easier to cut your strips that you're going to need. Little snip scissors. A ruler. These rulers are awesome. A little spendy, so always use your coupon on them at like Joann's, or I think Michael's has them as well. Hobby Lobby does not do coupons anymore, from what I understand. You're going to need some tape. I have just this other small ruler that I use at the end. I'll show you what to do with that. And then you're going to need snaps to go on the tab at the back. I like to use these colorful snaps here. I got these from Amazon, so you can see all the different colors and everything that are included in this set. I'll link it below also. Like I said, this came from Amazon. Got it about a year or so ago. Seems like it was around $20. I'm not sure. Very reasonable for everything that you get inside of this. Everything you need is in there to attach the snaps, and you can use those on a whole lot of other projects other than just this one that we're working on today. Okay, let's get started. What you need to do is get your stabilizer. This is a tearaway stabilizer. This is a 12 by 10 inch sheet here. And I always fold it in half and cut it, because you don't need a full sheet to do this project. You can use a half a sheet. So fold this in half, cut it in half, so that you end up with a 5 by 12 inch piece of stabilizer, and you're going to want to put that in your 5 by 7 hoop. You can just kind of put it right in the middle of your hoop there, so you don't need you don't need to waste all this extra stabilizer. So you're going to put your stabilizer in your hoop. The pattern calls for 2 3.5 by 6.5 inch strips of your material that you're, I thought somebody pulled in my driveway. 3.5 by 6.5 inch strip of material that you're using to make your sanitizer pouch out of. You'll need 2 of those, and then you'll also need one that's 3.5 by 3.5. So what you're going to do is cut the 2 6.5 inch by 3.5 inch strips, one 3.5 by 3.5 inch strip. Hoop your sanitizer, your stabilizer. Put your stabilizer in the hoop here. And we're going to go to the machine and do the first set of stitches. And all this is going to be is a placement stitch. This is just going to stitch out to show you exactly where your where you need to make sure that you have your material placed. So let's do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, now if you can see what this has done, this has just stitched out the placement to show you where you're going to put your material on here to start the sanitizer. It's kind of hard to see, but there you can see. Y'all, I always get a chuckle when I see this pattern. But anyway, okay, so it's just, you've got the placement stitch on there, and if you notice, I'm going to point it out here and then I'll hold it back up so you can see it better. There's this line, the straight across line that went across there too. See that? Real important, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. That's so you'll know where you place your pocket. So what you're going to do now that you've got the placements stitched out, you're going to get your 3.5 by 6.5 piece of vinyl, or in my case faux leather. Lay it down on top of that placement there, and then put just a couple of pieces of tape on it. Just like this. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. You just want to make sure that it's covered your placement stitch. You can kind of feel underneath here and see that it does. And we're going to take this back to machine, and it's going to stitch out the placement stitch. Let me say at this point, I'm using a variegated thread for my outline. I just like to do that when I put bright, vibrant designs on different things, because I just do. I like to do that. You can use whatever matches your fabric, which is what most people do. But I just like to add color and different things on there. So I've got a variegated thread on here that I'm doing my outline and everything with. At this point, we're going to add a design into it. This is something that I already added into the pattern before I loaded it on my machine. I use Embroidery software, and so I added my design that I'm putting on here into the design in Embroidery before I loaded it here on my machine. You can add a design if you want to. I'll do a separate little short tutorial on how to do that and put your design exactly where you need it to fit in. At this point, If you don't want to put a design on your hand sanitizer pouch, you can just go ahead and skip down to the next part of adding the back and the pocket. But at this point right now, we're going to add, we're going to stitch out the design that goes on here. Okay, now we've got our design on here. This is still just the front piece. So I've got my design on here like I want it. So what we do next is turn your hoop over. Let me flip my phone here. There. Turn your hoop over, and you're going to take your other 3.5 by 6.5 inch piece of vinyl or faux leather, whatever it is you're using, and tape that into place. Okay, I've got it taped into place. This is on the back side of your hoop. You want to make sure that you've got the right side is going to be facing up to you, okay? Because this is going to be the back. This is going to show. So you've got your design on the front. You've got the back piece taped onto the back of your stabilizer, right side facing up, and we're going to take it back to the machine and attach that. Okay, so now we've got the design on there. We've got the back attached. What you're going to do now is you want to attach the pocket. So get your 3.5 by 3.5 inch square that you cut out for your pocket, and you want to find the center. And the easiest way that I know to find the center, this just works for me. You may just be able to measure it out and just go like that. But to me, this just works out easier. You want to fold it in half, right side facing out. Find the little center point down here in the loop and just take your pen and make a little mark in there. And see, you've got your center marked in there. Very easy. It may be just as easy to I don't know, to measure it, but this just is how I've always done it. At this point, what you want to do is find that center point, again, with your little ruler. You can use your big one if you want to. This is just a habit. Use my little one for things like this. At that center point, you want to just make one more little mark. Right down. Okay, so you're going to make a little mark about 3/4 of an inch down. Can you see from where the center of the where the center is? This is going to be your snap, and I can tell you it's going to be a lot easier to go ahead and add your snap now as opposed to after you've attached the pocket. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you add it now. So let me pick out. These squeak so bad. Kind of gets on my nerves, but what are you going to do? I guess you could put WD-40 on it, but nah. Okay, a little closer so you can see a little better what I'm doing to add the snap. If you've not used these before, it is just the slightest bit tricky. At least it is to me in my simple brain. It took me a minute to figure them out. But, okay, so you've got your center point marked about 3/4 of an inch down. Flip it over. Get an awl, or this is what comes in the little packet there with the snaps. Get an awl or something sharp that you're not going to hurt yourself with. But, I mean, you know, something sharp enough that you can poke a hole in here. And right on your center, where you marked the center, you just want to poke a hole through like that. Now, since this is the pocket and you don't need... whoops, I can't hold it. You don't need the little thumbtack part, the base showing out. You're going to put this on the back side. Whoops, I can't see. Okay, put that on the back side of your pocket. Push it through so that you've got the sharp part right here. How I like to do it, you can do it either way. I like to put the bottom part of the snap. Let's see if I can get it. These aren't my cool tweezers. I have a cool pair of tweezers that I love, but I can't find them. Can you see that? This part I like to put on the bottom. No particular reason. I just like to do it that way. You set that just right on top of the pointy part of the thumbtack thing. Get your pliers, get your clamp thing that comes with this kit if you buy one, or whatever. You want to center this, center the bottom of the snap right there in that little plate on the pliers, whatever, and then you're going to just give it a good squeeze, just like that. And what that does, can you see there really good? It just flattens out that pointed part on the snap, so that's going to hold it together. Okay. There again, this is something that you're going to want to do before you attach the other part, before you attach the pocket to your bag, just because it's going to be a whole lot easier to do. Then this other part, we're going to set that aside because we'll put that on again in just a minute. Okay, now remember when we stitched this out, the two lines that went out on the side here, that's placement for your pocket. Okay, so on the back side, okay, there's the front, got your design if you're putting one. On the back side, you're going to take your pocket with the snap side up, and you're going to line it up. Let me stand up so I can see a little better. You're going to line it up right there. See, there's the lines. You're going to line it up with that. And you want to make sure that your snap is just about even with the top of the tab, which if you put it in the middle, it should be pretty much even. If you don't have your design centered even in the on the fabric here, it's, you know, it's not going to be exact, but you can kind of move it. You've got a little bit of playroom. Okay, so we're going to line that up right there with those, and we're going to tape it into place. Okay, I've got it taped into place. I put it the bottom and the top and on both sides. This is going to stick out just a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. You're going to flip it back over so that you've got the top or the design part, the front, up facing you, and we're going to take it over to the machine and attach the pocket. You've got it taken out of your hoop. You're going to take your, there we go again, stabilizer, tear it out. It's really pretty easy to get out. Just kind of take it out all the way around, tear it out. The only place you may have just a little bit of problem is where that little pocket placement stitch was. Excuse me. But it still should tear out even around those stitches. Sorry, here in the south, where I am, we've got pollen starting to come out, and it seems like every bit of pollen that's outside in my yard right now is just right here in the middle of my throat. Okay, now we're going to add the top pocket, or the top snap. Go ahead and cut some of this bulk off of here, just so you can get to it a little bit better. Remember the circle that stitched out at first when you first did your first stitch on there? This is where you're going to put your snap. The same thing as when we did the other one. Take your awl and poke a hole right through the center of it. Can you see? It's kind of hard to see on this particular vinyl, and I didn't think about that when I picked it, but it's reflective. So, okay, now with this one, you're going to want to put the thumbtack looking piece on the side, on the front side. See? Just stick it through there so that it comes out the back. And then take your bottom piece of this, or your other piece of the snap. This is the one that's kind of cupped. It's just kind of hard to show. Put that on the point of the snap. And I like to do this before I cut it out, just because I've got more to hold on to. Same way as before. Put it in the pliers, sorry, and press it down hard until it flattens out that point, and that's going to hold your snap on. See? And see, that way the top is going to snap down into the bottom. I'm sorry. Let me get a Kleenex. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you want to cut it out. You want to cut around the side. You don't want to cut right into the stitches, because if you cut right into the stitches, you're going to cut it apart, and it's not going to work. So what you want to do is, I cut the majority of it off down here at the bottom, just because it's easier to kind of maneuver around. Let me move the camera so you can see a little better. Okay. So you're going to want to cut right around through here, right around the stitch. but don't cut into the stitch. Okay, so we're just going to, I don't know how to do it so you can see. So we're just going to cut all the way around. Not cutting into the stitches because, like I said, if you cut the stitches, your whole little bag's going to fall apart. Go all the way around on both sides. You want to try to keep your spacing around your stitches as consistent, or your cutting around here as consistent as you can all the way around, just because it makes it look a little bit neater. I've thought about using pinking shears in doing this, and I just haven't done one like that yet, but I think it'd be really cute. And since this isn't real leather, it's just like a faux leather, it's really easy to cut. And just kind of round off your little corners there some. I'm going to make that just a little bit closer. There. And maybe this one too, just a little bit. Oops, there we go. Okay, and if you want to get into this little corner up here a little bit better and kind of even that up a little bit, just get your little snipper scissors, and you can get in there just a little bit better. There again, you don't want to cut the stitch, but see, you can just kind of round out that corner a little bit better. There. There. Just like that. Okay. And we're done. See, it snaps over, or flips over and snaps. It's my garage door opening. Pops had to go to Lowe's. He's making a set of cornhole boards. I keep trying to get him to make a video on how to do those, but he hasn't done it yet. Get your hand sanitizer. It just goes down into the pocket. Just slides right down in there. This folds over. And there it is. Let me get my my clip to go in there. To add your clasp on there, all you have to do is just unsnap it. I've got these lobster clasps. They're inch wide. You can get those at any craft store, fabric store, usually. You just slip that over the top of the tab. Snap that. Whoops, I see a thread. Oh, I see another thread. Snap that on there, and now you've got your hand sanitizer that you can take and put on your pocketbook or your belt loop or in your car, so that you've always got it ready and handy. One other thing, if you don't have a lobster clasp like this, get just a regular key ring thing. You can put that on there. However you want to do it, that's totally up to you, but you can put whatever kind of clasp you like on there. I just like these because they swivel. Not that that makes any difference. That's just what I like. I don't know. Okay, there you go. What do you think? I think it's a real simple project. I think it's a lot of fun to do. Like I said, I have them in a booth that, where Pops and I sell items that we've made or that we've picked or whatever. It's done really well there. Everybody has to have hand sanitizer. My mother is, she has to use a rollator to walk. And she has her, I made her one, she has hers hooked on the side of her rollator. So she's always got it with her. Let me know what you think, guys. What you think of this video? Was it easy? Leave me a comment down below. Make sure and subscribe and give my video a thumbs up. I'm growing in subscribers, which makes me really happy. I know it's been a minute since I've put anything on here, but I've got another tutorial that I'm going to film hopefully this afternoon on something else that's going to be an in the hoop item, so stay tuned for that too. Let me know how your hand sanitizer pouch turned out. I'd love to see a picture of it too if you want to post it. Y'all, thanks so much for spending the morning with me, and you all have a good day. Thanks.